What it do? This is GC3, and I'm in the place to be right here on the Vision Sports Network, bringing another awesome episode. I have a very special guest coming out from the islands of Hawaii, my guy, Paco Loco. What's going on, Pac?
What's up? Aloha. Happy Easter.
Happy Easter, my brother. Hey, I really appreciate you for coming on. And some people may be wondering, man, GC3, man, your network kind of expands. I mean, I had a guest earlier from Baltimore, Maryland, my guy Dev, and we were talking about, the transfer portal. Now I have the opportunity to sit down with you, one of the best MCs in the business, master of ceremonies for people who don't know what MC stands for, one of the best hype guys for local sports. I mean, I met Paco when I was involved with the Mua Invitational there at Kamehameha Schools, which was that big time girls basketball tournament here back in the early winter around right after Thanksgiving. And being able to listen to him, you know, pretty much, hype up the teams during the pregame and call the games, over the PA system was just amazing because he definitely loves what he does. He has a flair like no other. Again, I've been to sporting events, amateur and professional, across the country, and I had to connect with this guy. I mean, just does such an amazing job, with the youth sports, both high school and even the college level. So, Paco, let's talk about your career, emceeing and being a PA public announcer for all these events. How did you get started with that?
Wow. I started when I was a sophomore in college. Uh I was like the loudest guy in the gym all the time. Like I always had like quick little funny things to say, like right at the right moments where everybody can hear them. And then athletic director came to me and says, like, look, we need a PA announcer. And he put me on, and this was in 1996. So it was almost 30 years ago. And from then, as I just developed, and the communications department discovered me, made me transfer to the communications department. So I started learning like the technical side of MCing and DJing. And not only with that, it was like copywriting and doing all the things that you need to do behind the scenes. So I'm also like a audio technician to make sure I sound right. But then I just kept on going at it and going at it. And then my first job out of college, I was working for this basketball league called the Sunny Hill Basketball League. And that league, I got to MC Kobe Bryant's last high school game, which is my
Wow.
claim to fame in the NBA. Yeah, because he's from Philadelphia too. And that's what that league combined the high school kids with the college kids to see if they could muster up to that level. And I got to do Kobe's game, and everybody was making a big fuss about him. I was like, I don't know, let me see, because everybody got big hype, but there was cameras everywhere. There's reporters everywhere, and then like 2 weeks later, he got drafted. So that's my little. That's how I got started, and then I just kept on getting clients, and then 10 years into that, I moved to Hawaii. And then so I've been emceeing and DJing in Hawaii for 18 years. And it started
Wow.
with Hawaii Pacific University. I do all their events. Their cheerleading events, their sports banquets, anything that they have, they need a MC and DJ, they hire me. So that's my main client. I also worked in radio for 13 years, and I might be returning to radio with iHeartRadio. I had a couple interviews last week to return to radio to go back to but this time working with the hip hop stations because I love hip hop music. And but in Hawaii, since I've been doing DJing and MCing in Hawaii, I think I work for like 10 high schools, HPU. I collaborate with Chaminade University. I've done stuff with UH. So to me, it's all about promoting the sports life, because I always say that's what we, as humanity, that's the only thing we do right is sports. Like everything else is kind of messed up, but in sports, it's fair. Everybody gets a chance. Like you put your work in, you can see the differences. It gives people community. It gives people opportunities to get to meet other people, to travel. And I love to be part of that because that saved my life when I was in high school. When I was in high school, like my father went to jail when I was a freshman in high school, and when you're going into high school, that's a big time part of your life. But I went into sports in high school, and then my coach just like adopted me, like make sure I went to all the classes, make sure that I was doing what I need to do, and make sure my dream was to go to college, and he made sure that happened. And then so ever since then, it just kept on snowballing, 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 and now it's like I'm emceeing and DJing almost every day for a different sports program. So I do all kind of sporting activities. I do all kind of activities. Like I've even done uh, beauty pageants. I think that was the weirdest thing. I've done a
That's
couple
cool
beauty
though.
pageants. I've done the robotics tournaments that they used to have here in Hawaii. I've done MMA fights, boxing fights. But my main staple in Hawaii is basketball and volleyball, like the indoor sports. People love me when I do that, and they always hire me. So when you saw me was at Kamehameha, but I was also doing stuff at Moana Lua. I was doing stuff at HPU. So they had me running around all day, which is I learned this on the internet the other day. It's called the Ikigai, and the Ikigai is like it's I think it's Japanese, but it's the idea of finding your purpose in life, find a way to make money and things that people need. And if you mix that all up, you find your purpose in life. Like if you can do what you do and make money off it, that's the Ikigai. That's the purpose in life. So this is my purpose in life, DJing and MCing these games. And my ultimate dream is to someday work for a professional NBA team, WNBA team, Major League Baseball. I really want to MC for a professional league one day.
Well, it's beside, you touched on it, your purpose, but you're good at it and you're passionate about it. Like I could tell when you're calling the games again. I've been to other events and it's just like starting guard for da da da. It's just like, okay. No, yours is you'll add music to it, and you'll add the depending on, like, even when you did the Kahuku Red Raiders announcement, knowing that the Florida State Seminoles, the axe chop chant, kind of goes, it go coincides with Kahuku like that. The little things like that is even when you announce the Warriors, just it's you put your that you make it entertaining, and you engage the audience, and that takes not just expertise but passion, that you really care about your job and what you're doing, and that's why you're going to be around and you're going to be very successful in this industry, because not a lot of people take time to work on these little things. I know it's not just something that happens overnight. You work on your craft and you come up with just great ways and creative ways to again touch with your audience.
Well, to me, it's because I see myself as a player on the bench. Like I see myself as a kid on that team, and what drew me to sports is like the pageantry of it. Like the these kids, like a lot of these kids, that's the first time they ever gonna hear their name announced like that. I mean, they're never gonna make it to, to the UFC. They're never gonna make it to the big championships. But a lot of times, I'm hearing that's the first time they've ever heard their name said with respect and dignity and excitement. And the parents love it, and it excites the kids. The coaches love it, and I love it because I'm giving them, just a little piece of me to make their whole life better. Because a lot of them times, like that's high school sports, they might not go to college, and that's the time of their life. So I really try to make it super memorable for them, and super exciting for them, and super professional. Like I'm always picking up little things to add to the basketball show. Always, like any, like especially like with the music. Like if I see if there's a hot song that's playing, I'm gonna play that song. Like, if it's gonna get the crowd singing along, I'm gonna play that too. So it's always about the experience. But I see myself as a kid on the team and how I would like to see it like. So that's why I bring it like that.
Well, and that makes complete sense. I mean, it's the same thing. I mean, I hype up and promote kids a little bit differently within media and doing events, and then like trying to do the podcast and because again, ultimately, I can relate to you. I was that kid, you know, 20 years ago, lacing it up and wanting somebody to recognize, for me just even making the team. I mean, it's not easy now. Like Commitment is that's one of the toughest schools to make a team because there's so many students and so many talented students on that campus,
Hmm.
especially on the athletic side. So just to earn a spot on the team, it is a real, it's a big thing. And but again, the way you do things, man, it made the event like memorable for me as a spectator. Like it's just refreshing to have, a solid, MC and public announcer, bringing it up on, hyping the kids up. I mean, I'm hoping, maybe one day in the future, because I've been calling games live, play by play, and I've been asking Pool. I'm like, next year, I don't mind calling the games if you can get a microphone to tap into the YouTube channel. I mean, I could call the games too. I think it'd be a lot of fun to just do that and
Hmm.
talk about these kids, promote them, and it's a lot of fun, doing that. So you have a great job. It's fun. It's a lot of fun and rewarding.
Yeah, it is, and it's super important, man. Like the way the world is, and like it's a lot of stuff going wrong, and sports is doing it right for these kids. Like we gotta, a lot of the problems in this world can be solved by putting your kid in a sports program when he's younger, so he knows how to work with other people. He knows how to deal with authority, and I'm just happy to be a part of it. Happy to to put like some kind of memory in these kids' heads for the. I mean, so when they adults, they had a good childhood.
Absolutely, I agree, and I think you and I are cut from the same cloth, doing what we can for the next generation coming up, because ultimately, when we're old, these are going to be our future leaders, in
Hmm.
life, and so now let's pivot. Let's talk about besides being an MC and just a multi-dimensional entertainer. You're also doing stand-up comedy, and for those who are not following him, please, follow Paco, man. His Instagram handle is right under his name. It's at Paco Loco underscore comedy, and give him a follow. Show him some support. It doesn't cost you anything. I mean, you might as well. It's free.
Yep.
So if you want to
Yeah.
talk about your comedy career, that's just amazing as well. I love it.
Well, the comedy started when I was like when I turned 40. Like every time I get a O, when I turn 20 something, I gotta do something. When it turns 30, I gotta do something. But when I was 40, I discovered open mic near my house. And so I went to the open mic and I killed like when as soon as I started talking, they started loving me. So then I just kept on, it was right there. So I just kept on working at it. And then I discovered the Hawaii comedy scene, which there's like a bunch of places that have comedy shows. And so I started going to all this, working my materials, working it up. And comedy is a whole nother passion for me because I get to like really express myself and put my vulnerabilities and talk about my fears and talk about the things that I'm worried about. And just with my attitude and my spirit, it makes it silly. So people really like it. But I've actually accomplished some stuff since being a Hawaii comedian. I won they have like a comedy Oscar awards where I won best host of the year because I use my sports announcing voice when I'm emceeing the comedy events. So, ladies and gentlemen, here he is, David Tua. Like, you know what I mean? So I just this is like for comedy, but they like that, and so I bring that same energy to the comedy shows. But not recently, but for the past 3 years, the that open mic that I went to, I now run that open mic because in the COVID, when COVID hit, everything broke down and nobody wanted to put a show together. So I talked to the person who runs the show, and I've been producing it. And with that, I got to mentor like a whole generations of comedians. So because I'm way older, I'm 47 years old. So most of the comedians are in their 20s. So I get to mentor a lot of other comedians and tell them like, you mean the skills of comedy, how to story tell, how you slapstick comedy, how to do one-liner comedies. Like there's different categories of comedy that you can learn about once you're in it. And I get to teach these people, and sometimes you mean give them little tips on how to be funnier, or you know what I mean, and give them stage time and while they're on. So I've actually am responsible for a whole generation of the comedians that's performing in Hawaii right now. And there's probably like 30 of us in Hawaii, but everybody know about two of them, and that's Augie T and Tamua. Those are our big guys. But we have generations here. There's a lot of us here. There's a comedy scene in Hawaii.
No, that's amazing. And I mean, I've been following because again, like thing off air, I was telling you, I grew up with Island Magic Mike, and
Hmm.
just seeing his stuff. I mean, again, and like you were saying, he just touches his audience, and people can relate to it, and it's just so we just laugh because it's just he's storytelling and again reaching, engaging the audience, and a lot of the same things that you do, just besides on the comedy side, but also on the sports side.
Yeah. And that is a whole other side where I DJ, and that's why the music is so good when I'm emceeing and DJing because I've done hundreds of parties. I've done weddings. I actually use the the basketball games and the volleyball games as an advertisement tool for my DJing. So if people want me to hire me for their private events, I'm let them know that I'm available. That you can hire me. I bring my own equipment. I play all clean music, so the parents aren't offended by the words in the song. So and I play all kind of music because my music taste is everywhere. Like I've worked in Hawaii, I've worked for the oldie station, I work for the country station. So, and I'm a hip hop guy, and I listen to radio all the time. So I'm real in tune with all kinds of genre of music. So I'm available for any kind of event they need. I've done country parties, I've done EDM parties, and that's a whole another level of just reaching people and just bringing happiness to this world. And that's what I love doing, is just being that guy that when I walk in a room, people are like, "Hey, he's here!" Like, "Yep, I'm here."
No, that's just awesome. I mean, that's just you're a multifaceted, multidimensional entertainer, man. You're bringing it with comedy, with music, with being able to MC and host events. And I'm confident you would be able to call games, live action games. That
Oh
might be
yeah,
something.
I've done play by play with in radio a couple times. I filled in for people, mostly color commentary, but I could do play by play too. So yeah, I'm available to do radio, TV, like live events, anything.
No, that's awesome. And as I grow, the event side that I do, you're high up there, and me wanting to fly you out here to work my event, and I definitely think you would bring a whole different. I don't think these people here be ready. I think again having you be involved, and it's probably looking like 2025 when I'll be able to do it. Because I host a girls' summer event here, which has been pretty much my strongest event. This summer has been kind of different because I had to change the Friday Saturday I did it because I actually have to come home to Hawaii for my 20th year high school reunion. So
Oh wow.
it's definitely going to be, it's kind of hard that I had to move the weekends, but still going to make the best of it. But I'm working on 2025 already as we speak to try to make it, just a solid event, and trying to do stuff differently because that's one thing is I don't want to get complacent. I want to put my touch on things. I mean, it's the same with you. I mean, you've seen color commentary, and I think what makes you stand out is the way you do things. You put your passion behind it and your personality behind it. So it's just an amazing product every time.
Yeah, that comes from I was one of the kids when I was on the team. Like I listened to the coach. Like when the coach was talking, I listened to him, and that stuff put in deep. And one of the things I learned from being a player was like, if you're gonna do anything, give it your all. Like, don't half but anything. Like when you out there and you gotta do something, give it your all, or don't do it. Like sit down, don't do it. Let somebody else do it. So for me, it's just like if I'm gonna do it, I'm never gonna give you half effort. I'm always gonna give you the full energy. At the end of the day, I'm tired. Like if I played, like
Absolutely. Well, Pago, that's pretty much all the time we had today. I try to keep my podcast under 25 minutes, and we're at that mark. But I appreciate you taking the time to join us today and sharing your story, man. It's just amazing. And for those of you who are viewing my this episode, give my man a follow. Instagram.com/at Paco Loco underscore comedy. And he's available. DM to book
yes,
him. No, he got MCing. He can DJ. He's a one stop shop for your entertainment needs for your next event, whether it's sports, whether it's you know, he got you covered, and he's available to go across the country too. So
yes, I
just
am. I travel light.
Hawaii, he's there. So again, check him and appreciate you again, my man, for joining me. And it's just a pleasure to have you in my circle and being able to know you, get to know you, and work with you at the last event. And I look forward to this winter coming up. I'll be back again.
Definitely, bro. You hit me up when you get back on the island, bro. We hang out.
Appreciate it for sure. And here's the end credits. Again, thank you guys, and make sure to give us a follow. Our Instagram accounts are right on the bottom of this. Aloha.
Aloha.